I'm just looking at that, and then I noticed that. Right. Alright everyone, and welcome to another Spookies video, Hunting for History. Jumping straight in it today, we visited Bilsdean Waterfall out at East Lothian. It wasn't too far from where our last video was set. You'll see Innerwick just to the left of Bilsdean there. Took about 40 minutes to get there, wasn't too bad. Here's a LiDAR and old map. I thought it was interesting that they referred to the area as Castle Dykes. The only castle I could find nearby was at Dunglass, but that's gone now, doesn't stand, so I'm not sure why that's referred to as that, but intriguing. So yeah, just that's the entrance there, just off the A1. It's off the motorway, but it is single file, not dual carriageway, so there was that. Single lane, rather. So here we go, blocks straight away. This sort of thing was everywhere. We found this stuff all over the place, and it really was intriguing. Hidden, blocks and stuff behind foliage. But yeah, I'll show you more. This is the waterfall itself. So intriguing, so much to say about it, really. Look at it. I mean, what is that? I mean, that's a strange waterfall, quite unique. But we'll get a better look at it in a moment. And the strange land around it. It's very unique. Very strange. But looking around the area, one of the first things we noticed, you'll see here, underneath all this foliage, there was blocks. And it makes you wonder for that whole entire section. And indeed, there was what appeared to be more blocks throughout it. And I'll show you in both the first and sort of second half, you'll see more. But yeah, just taking a close look at this, it was really intriguing. It seemed like sort of 3 halls or archway sort of things. The blocks were really good quality, but it was just completely falling apart. I mean, nature's taken it over. I don't know how old this is. Couldn't find any information about it. Yeah. So it's a mystery. If anyone does know, please do let me know in the comments. Maybe someone local will know. But I couldn't find anything online. And I tried. I really did try. But you'll see here, look at that. I mean, just nature taking it back. But there's some more. I had to film this, so that bit I zoomed in at was where we were, and here we are now looking at this stuff. And I mean, yeah, it might just be natural rock, but to me, I find it so intriguing when you see that gap below it, like it's just a rock placed on a rock, or something like that. Whatever it was, there's my hand for comparison. It was intriguing. So back to the waterfall now, and this is me. I climbed down to the waterfall, so actually, this footage is from 2 days, 2 different separate visits. I actually came back here because I didn't have enough footage of the waterfall itself, so I just came back the other day and got this. But look at that. I mean, to me, I'm not saying this is what it is, but it looks like how I imagine a building would look if, like, you obliterated it, left it for hundreds of thousands of years, and let nature take over. That's what it looks like. That's at least in my brain. I mean, look at that strange protruding layer at the top. That it's just, and that layer runs along into the rock. You'll see it to the sides, and it's just so intriguing, but it's so cool. So cool. And yeah, so there's a waterfall, completely covered in moss, just an amazing looking thing, great to visit. The waterfall itself, is quite piddly. There's not that much water, and it trickles all the way to the sea. Yeah, it runs a little river all the way, goes through a little tunnel, a man-made tunnel at the end, which you'll see, and goes out to sea. It's just very intriguing area because I couldn't find much about structures built on it other than the fort. What fort do you think I'm talking about? I am talking about an Iron Age fort. It's supposed to be up on a cliff above, and I'll point that out the area later when we see it. So I did actually walk all the length of this river, all the way down to the tunnel. I'm not going to show it here. Here's some of the things we found. I might put up the video of that as a separate thing, if anyone's intrigued by it. But yeah, here's a brick I found, quite an old one, no holes or anything like that in it, so I thought that was intriguing. And there's the end of the river, it flows out to sea through that tunnel, as I said, and that's where the Iron Age fort's meant to be, up there on top of that rocky hill. I didn't go up there, and I would like to go back and have a look around, at least to see the view. I mean, it's going to be incredible, right? But here is the walk to the sea. So that's the river down there. That's the water coming from the waterfall. And there was this amazing wall. I mean, look at this. We didn't know this wall was here when I looked it up, and it just looks brilliant. Look at it. It looks very old. I have no idea who built it. I have no idea what's there for. I couldn't find anything about it. Although I will say that it's a similar style to some other bridges in the area down up at Dunglass. It's very similar style, I think, although not identical, so it's intriguing. And it's intriguing to think about a man-made structure of where this river that comes from the waterfall flows and exits to sea, and it's a man-made tunnel that it goes through again. It's just very strange, but a great area to explore. I've been twice, as I said, and I've not seen one other person here, just Becky, the time that she came. But yeah. And the tide was in this time I came. I was in a little bit further, but it doesn't really stop you having a good look around. There's a wall, just really impressive. It's like a bridge, it's like a wall. I'm not sure what's going on. Don't know why it's there. If anyone does know, please let me know. But yeah, so I'm just taking a closer look at this. This is the water from the waterfall, and it's exiting through this tunnel and goes out to sea. Now, I'm just very intrigued by it all. You know, we did get a wee look in this. I was wearing my wellies that day, so I had a wee peek.
Look at that old one there.
So as you'll see, a lot of it crumbling away, but most of it actually looking alright on the inside of it.
Whoa.
There's the wall. I couldn't really tell if it was some sort of render or if the blocks are just sort of merged into one at parts. It was hard to tell.
Yeah.
And I wonder why that was built there. There was a river going there. I mean, it's just one archway. It seems very strange. Why do you need the wall there? Like, yeah, I would like to know more about it. So if anyone does find anything, please let me know. Really intrigued. Up there on the left, that's said to be the Iron Age fort with arrows pointing. At least that's the way I understand it. Anyway, the other half of Spookies, Becky's going to jump in and out for the rest of the video now. So, aye, Becky, what do you think about this area? It's quite mysterious, eh?
Yeah, I suppose. The surrounding area's got quite a few weird things about it. It leaves you with a lot of questions. I don't know, I hope that we can maybe see if anyone has any local knowledge or something like that, because yeah, nothing really comes up on Google for some of these little structures that you find, like, that are clearly obviously like buildings at some point, but aren't really, standing up anymore, so.
Yeah. But no, I agree with you. Like, I know even all this stuff, like, I know, like, we're no geologists or nothing like that, but, like, look at it. It's like a piece of floor up the top sticking out and all this clay at the bottom, and obviously we don't have a clue what to make it, but...
Yeah, I suppose, like, this video, I guess, is not the best in showing those sort of blocks coming out, but yeah, it does definitely look like something was there before. It definitely looks like some sort of level.
There. You can see it there,
Aye, because they're all in a line, and yeah, it's just because it's surrounded by sort of like clay and other bits and bobs, so it doesn't feel like it's kind of been layers and layers over the centuries,
Yeah, it's like the remains of something,
yeah.
That's what it comes across as to me.
Yeah.
I don't know, but it's intriguing. Any thoughts? Put them in the comments, because we want to see. Like, look at that. It's like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I also get the feeling on this area that there's been a lot of coastal erosion, I guess.
Oh, aye. No, definitely.
I think this area in general it seems to be quite eroded, shall we say?
And hit hard.
Yeah, definitely.
It's quite an exposed bit though. It's right on the coast, And then there's all these really interesting rocks on the beach. So much going on. Just so much. And it's around about this area, a wee bit further along, that there's meant to be a man-made outdoor swimming pool, Lady Hall's pool. We're not so much we buy into that story, not so sure, I should say, we buy into that story, because we visited was it Cove Harbour, which isn't too far from here, and a lot of the similar sort of shapes are in the coast, so, not sure about that. But yeah, here's some of those really interesting blocks up high, really looking like a right angle there, like look at that. Interesting. And this was the fascinating massive lump of, I don't even know what to call it. So this was like a lump of, call it cement, concrete, geopolymer, whatever you want to call it. I'm not sure. But it had a whole bunch of stuff in it. Just some more interesting rock formations around about it. But yeah, here, this is the one. And there was a guy in the Paul Cook's Telegram group that said that he'd seen this stuff quite a lot, where it was just a mishmash of geopolymer and a bunch of different things just mashed into this lump, and that's what this really looks like. You'll see some of the stuff that is in it when we get the camera in there, but here's the interesting formations near. As I said, there's meant to be a man-made outdoor pool. It was Lady Hall, I believe. Lady Hall's pool meant to be nearby. I just think, I'm not so sure that it's a pool, because there's a lot of this sort of stuff on the coast around here. And I don't know if you can just explain one of them for being a pool while there's lots of, other similar bits. Came off that.
And that is interesting. See that bit lump up there? Similar consistency to the lump down here, and that's what I think it fell from and is broken off of. So here's the lump here that I'm talking about. I think that's fell from up there. But yeah, so looking at it, look at all this. Now look at all the stuff that's in it. Now to me, see that square part, that was like zinc. I used to do a lot of roofing back in the day, and that reminded me of some of the zinc sort of shaped pieces that you would get. Even when I tap on it, it sounded very familiar.
That's something else in there. It's like zinc. It's like zinc or something. What used to be here?
And there's just a wee pan round from on top of the weird sort of block. And see Becky, our wee friend that we found out in the wild. We actually thought this was a seal at first, but it turned out to most likely be a sea otter. Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah. He was quite cute, I suppose. Just out there on his own.
Aye, it's quite shy, man. Anyway, it's pretty cool. Well, that's 2 bits of wildlife in the one video. That and the kingfisher earlier on. But there's a big weird looking rock, so it's like a floor, I think. Yeah.
Speaking of wildlife, look at this. In the big lump, there's been a bird make its nest. So there's lots going on here. Lots and lots. Look at that big right angle block underneath it.
Yeah.
Definitely off something that. Definitely off something. And here's a closer look. Look at that brick. There appears to be brick inside it. Now, yeah, just really interesting, this lump. I don't know what's going on, but there's all sorts of stuff in it when you start looking closely. It's really hard to get something on camera. Some more of the blocks nearby, to me, definitely from something. But all sorts of interesting stuff going on in the area. Really worth exploring. Of course, even these sort of white blocks, these were lying on the sort of hill above it. And I just found these near the end, but I had to get a picture because I thought it was really interesting. And that was what's above them. I just find this place very mysterious. I'm just not sure what we're looking at, but... And all these interesting shapes. Seemingly created by the water and the rock on the shore. Really interesting stuff going on here. Look at the abundance of blocks and rocks, just so much. Really cool. And here we are. So this appeared to be metal that had become fused to the rock. They had become one. I have never seen this before. And this wasn't the only piece. There was another bit, you'll see just there. And there was a couple other bits around. I found them fascinating. I've never seen anything like that. But it completely fused to the rock. Just amazing. Amazing. And here's more of that clay stuff.
And all over the beach here, there's lots of like strange looking rocks. Like that one to me looked like a sort of detail corner of like an old building or something. Aye, and then you've got the bits behind it as well. That 3. Look at that. What do you think, Bex?
I don't know, some things I just think there might be a wee bit of a logical explanation for, but I appreciate the sort of curiosity.
Well, I think what about that then? That's things like that. And the next one. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I do definitely, because there were so many rocks with that design on it, I do think there's going to be a logical explanation that just we maybe don't know yet.
That one, yeah. Like, what is that? We found millions of these down there, eh? There was actually tons of that pattern in the rocks.
I think it could be some sort of cabling, wires, something like this. It's just
Could be,
imprinted
aye.
over time, maybe.
Good point. And this was on the way out, walking back. I just noticed this sort of corner. This was on the path walking back to the waterfall. Thought that looked really intriguing. Look at the wall or the rocks formation going right along, but it was a perfect right angle again at the side and really flat. Just sharing my thoughts. But like Becky says, it could just be a logical explanation.
Definitely could be, but if there were some sort of structures there, I just want to know what they are, you know. I guess it is quite interesting. The history side of things, where there probably was a lot of these kind of buildings like on the coast. There's quite a lot of castles on the coast.
Look at that! Like, look, come on, that to me looked like blocks, old blocks or something under that. But it's all covered under that bush all the way along, yeah, just like Innerwick. But I get what you're saying. And now we're taking you to the next place we visited, which was a series of bridges just along the road from Bilsdean. You can actually walk there. You see the great old bridge that it said on the map there. Some of them are not used anymore. Some of them still are, aren't they, Becky, as we experienced? It was quite a nice walk though, eh?
Yeah, it's quite nice. It's a bit different because eventually you will walk under the A1, which is not something I've done before. It's very steep. That is something it is worth noting.
Yeah.
A wee bit scary, but it is quite. The bridges are really impressive.
Yeah, and I think what I liked about it is you travel through different time periods. Like there's old bridges, and there's clearly the one in front of us there, which with the metal, that is the A1 now. So that's like the modern bridge. And then there's like clearly lovely wee old ones, eh?
It's quite a nice wee village nearby as well, and some nice sort of plants and things nearby. So it is a nice wee walk down it.
Yeah. And in terms of hidden history, there wasn't much we saw this bit, but back at the start, we'll show you actually just at the end of this sequence, there was a really intriguing sort of wall under the bridge, which is quite exciting. But yeah, it's just a nice wee spot really. There was this intriguing wall to the left of us on the way, of course, but as you'll see, we're just coming up to the oldest bridge in the bit. It's really nice, eh, Bex? This was a really nice one. Got some pictures on it, it was lovely.
Yeah, I think just the amount of ivy and things grown over it, it's just really sort of mysterious and sort of enchanting looking.
Definitely the earliest of the bridges that we found, and well, it seemed it. Maybe not, but it seemed it, from the sort of damage and wear and tear to it. It's not really used now by the looks of it, but
It definitely looks like something that could be straight out of, I don't know, Harry Potter or something.
aye. And here's that really intriguing bit. Like, look at this. This is just weird. I can't explain it. It seemed like there was some sort of, don't know, render or something smeared all over what was under the bridge. You can see like indents, see, like blocks and that. Do you see them, Bex? It was really intriguing. So I don't know how that got made, or how old it is, or nothing. I found it fascinating, and I even asked my dad, who's a builder, and he couldn't fully explain it either. He had a few theories, but nothing that we could come up with that was concrete. Excuse the pun. But aye, really fascinating, eh?
So yeah, this bridge is just really impressive. But it was what's under it, definitely, that was more interesting. And this is just back to the start of the bridge. Over here, this is a nearby bridge. This is parallel with the one that we were just under. I thought this was intriguing because it reminded me of the style of bridge we found down at the water. So looking over the edge, I mean, and every time I look at this now, I just think that this river looks more and more man-made. The blocks, sort of the wall down the side, I just find it all very fascinating. Look at that, just trickling along. And you'll see underneath all the foliage, there does seem to be appear some sort of rocks, obviously. But could it be blocks? Just putting it out there. And here's the row of bridges. Really cool. Down on the left again, looking a bit sus, but really cool. That blocky effect. The bridge again, I think it's very similar style. Coincidence maybe, but it's similar to the one down at Bilsdean. Very nearby. You can walk there, as I said. Here's the river and the sort of blocky looking sides. Interesting, and you can see in the distance where we were, you can see that strange slope there. Just a very interesting area. But yeah, thanks for checking it out with us. Before we go, here's a wee sneak peek at next video.
No, you're the ugly slug. Anyway, that's our next adventure. If you enjoyed this video, please do give it a wee like.
And maybe even leave a comment and maybe subscribe to your channel too.
Thanks for joining us, and join us next time if you can, please. Cheerio.